Tesla CEO Elon Musk tweeting that he's considering taking Tesla private at $420 and that funding is secured. He then followed by saying, I don't have a controlling vote now and wouldn't expect any shareholder to have one if we go private. I won't be selling in either scenario. Let's bring in Mike Santoli and Bob Pisani on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange to discuss. Gentlemen, what is the sentiment on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange given this news today? Bob, I'll start with you.
Anybody know what to make of it?
I think people are just, we were just talking, people are just puzzled and don't know what to make of it. I'll tell you the big question is, was it even legal doing what he said? Now, I don't know the answer to this, but I can tell you for sure, Mike knows this, the very heart of the SEC Act of 1934 that created the SEC involved statements about market manipulation, because that was a big problem in the 1920s. So they wanted to make it very clear under what circumstances people might be manipulating the market. Now, if Mr. Musk was trading around this announcement, that's clearly manipulation, but I assume that's not happening. But even if he was making statements to affect the price of the stock, potentially that could involve questions of manipulation. I don't know, but I'm quite sure that this SEC lawyers are looking at this right now, and that's kind of what people are wondering about. Why would he make such a statement?
I mean, it was established, as you guys have said, that disclosing material information by way of social media, Twitter or Facebook, has now been allowed as a legal way for a corporate executive to get information out there. The question is, the truthfulness of that information, right, and the intent behind it. So, yeah, having secured funding, to me, is the big number right there. And then beyond that, just financially, how would this potentially work if you look at all of the amount of capital you would need to take out all the other shareholders aside from Elon Musk and maybe some other strategic ones? They already have debt on the balance sheet. And let's remember, once whatever group of investors were to maybe take this company private, you still have tremendous capital demands because the company is still investing to grow so much. Building a plant in China, for example, is one of its wishes. So many questions about whether the market could swallow a deal like this, even if it were in process.
But just to go back to this question, even if the statement is true, everything he said, assuming is true there, if this was effected for the purpose of moving the stock price, and he said he hates the shorts already, that questions could arise about SEC potential violations there. That's immediately what I saw. That was my question.
We're going to talk about that with our next guest, former SEC Chairman Harvey Pitt. But let me ask both of you guys. Our producer Sandy Cannell asks, if this deal were done involving a ton of foreign money, might CFIUS come into play? Might the president oppose it based on the idea that we can't have a company that is strategically important, electric vehicles, controlled by foreign investors?
It's obviously an interesting question.
It's a small investment, though. It's 3 to 5% by the Saudis.
No, but I'm saying if the other investors were foreign, big foreign players.
Look, potentially, it'd be actually a little bit of an irony if, in fact, this administration said, nope, electric vehicles manufactured here is a strategic investment required for economic and national security. I do think the question would be asked, of course, would really matter a lot exactly what countries the funding is coming from potentially. So
we're getting
into all. I mean, the swirl of questions grows.
We're getting into deep speculation, which we just wallow in, guys.
You love that,
ladies.
Right?
We love that. That's what we do.
Ask Harvey Pitt about Section 9. I think Section 9 of the SEC Act, and Harvey would know this, was the one that was dealing with market manipulation. They had a whole thing about this. This is very, very well-developed securities law right now.